Hey guys, B10 here, coming at you with a Star Wars Battlefront DLC review, and this is the Outer Rim DLC. And wow, this DLC just seemed like it was going to be stupid. I even thought it was stupid that they're doing Tatooine and Solist maps, but I actually think they did a pretty good job. Now, I was going to have this on Tuesday, the week after the DLC came out. But, I edited up all the clips, but I didn't get to recording it because I was so busy with track meets, school, etc. Whatever. I'm recording it now, and I gotta say that this DLC isn't that bad, actually. Although some points and pieces I'm a little bit angry about, and let me just say I have a lot of Jabba's Palace gameplay, and that's because a few disappointing things I learned while playing the Outer Rim DLC. After playing it through a couple times, me and Lotus realized that this DLC, you can't play Extraction alone. It gets stuck in a playlist. You get stuck in a playlist, and it'll always start off with Jabba's Palace. Or you get lucky, you might find a match and start off on a different game, or a different map, or whatever. But it's Jabba's Palace, and then it goes on to Heroes vs. Villains, on one of the Solist factories or whatever, and then it goes on to, I think, a different game mode, like Blast, Cargo, or something like that, on Jabba's Garage, whatever, and so on and so forth, and back to Extraction, which is kind of annoying, and it means you have to play through the game a lot. It means you have to leave and hopefully join a new match, because I don't like Jabba's Palace all that much. The map is chaotic, you die a lot, and you need to use blaster pistols or CA-87 to get a lot of kills, or actually do good on the map. It's got a lot of camping areas for heroes versus villains that actually favor the heroes a little bit, but if you're Greedo and you start destroying people, yeah, it's not going to be very pretty because you can do a lot of damage with Greedo. So let's talk about the maps for now, before we get into heroes and the new blasters, which are, some of them are pretty cool, others are not so cool, sadly. So the maps, of course, Jabba's Palace, which you're going to see 90% of this gameplay of, because it's the only game you get to play. And I love this map so much. It doesn't make me rage. And I don't want to kill everything I see. Because this map is not that, bad, obviously. No, but in all real, I was really hyped for the map. It was kind of fun, kind of cool. It looks amazing, especially in first person, which is totally how you should be playing it, and not in third. But oh well. Next is the Palace Garage, which is an interesting map. I didn't get to see it all that much, and it's okay. It's not bad, it's not the best, but it's okay. It's fairly balanced. There's a good, cool outdoor portion, and an interesting indoor portion, that looks pretty good as well. Now, for the Solist maps, we have Sora Sub Refinery. That's it. That's the one with the giant, buckets of magma hanging from the ceiling and all that other lava and stuff. That map is pretty good, really fun. Extraction is also very interesting on that game mode, especially towards the last run where it gets pretty difficult for the rebels, but it's doable. And then Sora Sub Pipelines, that's what it's called. Pretty interesting map. I really like it. It seems like a nice map. It's not too small, but it's also not too big, and it works. Really fun map. I'd say out of all four, Jabba's Palace is probably the worst. And I'd say the best map might be Pipelines or Refinery. I can't really decide. But definitely the most beautiful map of all is Pipelines. You look outside the map, the lava looks gorgeous. The smoke, they did a really, really good job. Clutching the win right there, and I apparently killed myself. Alright. So those are the maps for you. Let's talk about Extraction just for a tiny little second. The game mode, you've probably heard about it. You can read the description. It's just basically walker assault, but you're not shooting at a walker and you're rebels, and you're delivering a package or thing to a certain area. You can activate a shield on it, but stormtroopers have to stop it. But what's weird is the shield sometimes lets projectiles through, like grenades, which kind of annoys me, so I die from that a couple times. What's interesting and really cool is if you go up to activate it, and let's say you get it halfway done but you die, a teammate now only has to do that other half that you left. Same for both sides. You have to get to all 3 checkpoints to win as the rebels, or the stormtroopers just have to simply stop you for the allotted time, which is 5 minutes per section. and you get an added extra bonus of 5, or is it 6? Something like that. Also, for the start, the Rebels can get Luke Skywalker as the first wave. The second wave, the Rebels can get Nyan Nub, and the Stormtroopers or Imperials can get Boba Fett. At least on this map. This is the map I'm talking about. I'm just like rattling off what I see right here. And on the final push, the enemies can get Vader. After I just completely destroyed him as Nyan Nub. On other maps, it varies. On the Solist maps, you're going to get Nyan Nub, but not Greedo. But on the Tatooine maps, Greedo is definitely going to be the hero you're going to be able to get. I think he's only on the second run, though, so make sure you get him on the second run, or look for that hero pickup. Once a hero dies, he doesn't spawn back in, and there's no more hero spawns until, say, the next wave. Or if you're already on the second wave for Rebels, there's no more heroes. But you need these guys. These guys will get you ahead. You need to help your teammates. Don't sit back there and do nothing. If you have 1 health, sit back a little bit, but still try and defend. But now, let's talk about the heroes, because there's a lot of Nyan Nub gameplay in here, and he's absolutely awesome. Comes with a super fast rapid pulse cannon. He's got a turret, that augmented turret of his that's so overpowered at times. An orbital strike on the bigger game modes, which you see me using to effect here, which can destroy not only heroes, but the AT-AT if you get it right in front of it. And of course, his trip mines or proximity mines in the smaller game modes, which are always fun to use, and especially great for games heroes versus villains, and hero hunt. Really good for hero hunt, and just any game mode in general that is small, and you can just throw them on the ground or whatever. But his orbital strike is special, because not only can you see where enemies are, which is kind of awesome, you can see them kind of like through walls, but you can also... it also lasts 3 times as long as a regular orbital strike. Like, I watched it and I could, tell. It sounded like 3 orbital strikes just came down, one after another on the same position. He's a pretty awesome hero. Doesn't have a lot of health, though, compared to the other ones. He's kind of like an honor guard if he had maybe a little bit more health. So they're kind of they're not that hard to take down, actually, but they can be if they're playing against a very good player that utilizes the turret and snipers and his amazing pistol. Which actually isn't that bad. Literally, the DH-17 sucks at long ranges, but when you use this thing at long ranges, it doesn't do half bad. Now let's move on to talk about Greedo. He's got a Zioxys grenade, heightened senses to see through walls, and his precision shot, which was so hyped up in the trailer. Oh my god. It sucks, okay? I'm just going to say it's terrible. In the trailer, he's shooting at 5 people that are standing still, and they're people that can't even hit him, alright? Stormtrooper aim. When you're playing against real players, it's not useful. They're going to move behind cover, they're going to get out of your sight line, and you stand still until the timer is up on that little thing. Even if you're not even shooting at somebody. Or if you were and they went to cover. If you do it and nobody's looking at you, it just, slightly uses it, which is kind of annoying, so you still have to recharge it. Yet you didn't even kill anybody with it. Now, his 2 other abilities, the Zioxys grenade, it's kind of useful, kind of useless. It's great for stopping somebody from coming after you so that to find another path around or just wait, or damaging somebody slightly and then going for the final kill with his very powerful blaster pistol that is way better than Han Solo's, and honestly, Greedo beats the crap out of Han Solo in this case. If you can get his Zioxys grenade upgraded through this confidence, you can get Thermal Detonator, which is alright, Impact Grenade, which is pretty useful, and Imploder, which is very useful for taking out multiple enemies in a hallway, especially if you're talking about a map, say, if you're playing Hero Hunt on a certain Imperial station on Endor. Yeah, he's pretty good. His heightened senses do help, so you know where enemies are constantly. And if you get his confidence up all the way, his pistol is a one-shot kill. Yes, one-shot kill. It's absolutely amazing. As long as you keep the confidence up, though. If you're on any of the small maps during Hero Hunt, he does amazing. Don't even bother choosing Vader. No, Greedo is a new hero in town. But he can die very easily if you're not very good. So be careful, because he takes a lot of damage, just like Nyan Nub. Because, well, I guess they'd be pretty overpowered. So if you ever play Hero Hunt, pick one of those 2 guys. Depending on what map you get, they can absolutely destroy. These heroes are pretty worth it, I'd say. If you want to buy that DLC, these guys are pretty worth it, pretty fun. Now let's talk about those weapons. We got 2 free ones that anybody can get through the Hut contracts, and 2 DLC paid ones, which you can only get the DLC and Hut contracts, of course. and 3 star cards. Let's talk about the first weapon, the DL-18. This is seen by being used by Luke and, of course, Kanan in Star Wars Rebels. This pistol is absolutely amazing. This thing has such a fast fire rate, alright? You can just spam the crap out of that thing and destroy people with it. It's absolutely awesome. And it's great that this weapon is free. It is probably the best weapon in the DLC, and anybody can actually get it. Oh my god! Thank you, DICE, for making a DLC weapon that is overpowered, but everybody can have it. Actually, it's not really overpowered. It's just really, really good. And headshots do a lot of damage. The thing doesn't have a lot of damage, but you can spam it so fast, and it's so accurate, it doesn't even matter. The thing is just so good. Now, the other free weapon is a DLT-19X. Not so good, I'm afraid. It literally looks like the DLT-19. Or DLT-19? Yeah, it's called the DLT-19. Okay. Yeah, it literally looks exactly like it. There's no difference. It can get one-shot headshots, and it does a lot of damage. But one shot, and then you have to wait for it to cool back down. Then you can shoot again after a while. It is pretty difficult to use, and I wouldn't suggest using it. I guess it's a kind of cool addition to be a sniper without having to constantly wait for your cycler rifle to recharge or whatever. That's basically what it is. A slightly weaker, without as much drop-off, cycler rifle. The 2 paid weapons now, the Relby V10. So excited, yet so disappointed. The thing is advertised as being a super fast-firing weapon, but then they put a cap on it. So you can't fire it as fast as you can pull the trigger. And oh my god, what do you know? Greedo shot first! What? I'm kidding. Han shot first. Screw you, George Lucas! Anyways, Relby V10, complete disappointment. I mean, the weapon can be good sometimes at long range. It just isn't that great. I was really, really disappointed. You can tell. I've said it like 3 times. So if you got the DLC and you're looking forward to that weapon, you know, maybe you like it. Maybe you're good with it. I'm alright with it. It just takes too many blaster bolts to kill, and it's not that great for close range. It also sounds really weak and really puny, which makes me kind of dislike it. And finally, the other one is the DT-12. This weapon is terrible when you're not Greedo, because it's a 3-shot kill most of the time, has a slower fire rate than the DL-44, which is a 2-shot kill, and also has less range and slightly more blaster bolts can be shot. Yeah, this thing kind of sucks. A lot. Sure, I can go off with it, you know, sort of. More than the DL-44. Maybe that's just preference. But the thing isn't that great. The 2 DLC weapons aren't that powerful. They're just interesting and cool. You know, being used by 2 iconic bounty hunters. Even if Greedo wasn't that great, you know, he's still iconic. You still know who he is. He's obviously in the game. So those are the weapons. The star cards aren't that interesting either. Deoxys Grenade. Thing can get people off of objectives pretty quickly and keep them out of a hallway, but your chance of killing somebody are very slim. Gotta be honest here. Unless the dude is 10 health and he walks into it because he's stupid and thinks it's a smoke grenade, you're not gonna get very many kills, and especially considering to upgrade the thing you have to get kills with it, you're gonna have a hard time. I'd suggest using the DT-12 actually, shooting them twice, or throwing the grenade, then shooting them twice, and hoping to God you actually kill them. That'd be awesome, if you actually killed them. But it sucks. I wouldn't suggest upgrading it, unless you really want to go for completion and whatnot. The Adrenaline Stim heals you pretty fast, but it's not enough to keep you alive if an enemy's shooting at you. And what the heck, DICE? Fix that. I just died from nothing. That happens a lot with speeders. Also, random gameplay of me trying to get into the Wampa Pit. Yeah, I didn't really show it off. It's been seen before. And finally, probably the best star card added, and that is the Scattergun. Thing can go through shields and does a lot of damage in heroes. And look at me trying to escape and failing miserably, and oh god. Oh, this is so funny. This random black stormtrooper comes out of nowhere, or a shadow trooper. It's great, especially when we spawn back in. Just listen to this. Like, we spawn back in, and then he's just like laughing off. And I'm just, no! Oh well. So yeah, Scattergun, really awesome, goes through shield. And I would definitely use that thing again. Now that's really all the DLC has to offer, and, you know, of course, being DLC. I'm not talking about any of the update stuff, because that's not part of the DLC, really. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoy me destroying the crap out of Greedo, because he shot Han first, and that's not allowed. We must destroy him for that. Leave a like, subscribe to Merc V2 Gaming, and see ya.